Is this working? Yes, it is. Welcome back. We're going to continue to do some tooltip work here. I was doing a bunch of random stuff to the game yesterday, which I will show you. One of those moments where I was supposed to be working on the tooltips and then I got inspired to do something else, and so I did that. You know, that's how it goes. But anyway, before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wishlisting. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler where you can create your own builds and synergies using alchemy. Oh, give me 1 second here. Sorry about that. Anyway, you could check out Alchemortis on Steam. I'd appreciate that. You can also support the development of the game on Patreon. If you subscribe to the top tier for at least 1 month, I will send you an Alchemortis Steam key when the game launches, so you won't need to buy it on Steam, and your name will be listed in the in-game Alchemortis credits. So if that sounds good, check that out on Patreon. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. These will teach you how to build complete games in the Godot engine, but they're also a great way of supporting me as well. So check that out. Everything's in the description below. I would appreciate it. You can also like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow on Twitch, all that good stuff. For anyone watching on YouTube or Twitch, just know that the videos are available on the other platform as well at the same time. So if you're on YouTube right now, you want to have the Twitch experience, you can head on over to Twitch, and vice versa for Twitch. Okay. Hello, Christian. Welcome back. Hello. I'm sorry I can't say your name, but hello. Welcome. Good morning, Kapata Sensei. I'm doing well. How are you doing? General Shade, welcome. Oh, also Clickertail. Hello, Clickertail. I'm sorry, Clickertail. I can't highlight your message because my social stream was not running before your message came in, but welcome back to the stream, Clickertail. I can't talk today. It's okay. So I was doing some random work with the board growth indicators. I decided that I didn't really like the old board growth indicators. So what I did is I made them eyeballs, and I also made them attached to the board here. So you can see we've got eyeball here. It's like attached to the edge of the board. It's like grafted onto it. You can still hover over it and it will tell you what the board effect is. But I think I like that better. I think the floating orbs were a little bit weird. I mean, the eyeballs are weird too, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I feel like this feels, number one, a little bit more thematic, and number two, it feels more like it's part of the board rather than just something that's floating around it. So these are the board effect indicators now. They're little eyeballs. I gave them a little animation. Their iris moves around randomly, so it looks like they're looking around. And yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep that. Figured out cell shading yesterday. Feels good, man. Awesome. Hello, Emerson. Welcome back. So I think I'm gonna keep this presentation style. There's just a couple of problems with this. One of the main problems is that if I grow the board, these kind of like don't follow the board very nicely. So what I was thinking about doing is putting them as part of this position root here. And actually, so this would be part of the canvas group position root. What was the reason that I can't do this? The reason why I can't do this is because it would be behind. So there's a little minor detail here, which again is really minor, but I have the layers arranged such that if I put a card here, you can see that the eyeball sort of slightly overlaps the card, right? I don't know if you can see that on the stream very well. Maybe I can take a screener and zoom in. So here, see how the eyeball kind of like very lightly overlaps the card? That gives it a little bit of depth that I really like. Again, it's a super minor detail, but it makes it feel like this is like a piece that's protruding out of the board, and like the cards are inset into the board, or they're farther away, they're deeper in. And so I have to keep the board effect indicators above the cards in some way, but in order to get the board effect indicators to scale with these things, this scale root and position root, I would need to put it here. But of course, now that messes up the layering. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do about that. The one option I can do is I could just mirror this scale and position root for the board effect indicators, and then make sure to animate those alongside. Let's see, scale root. So maybe that would be the way to do it. Maybe I just mirror that structure. This structure is kind of weird too. So basically, whenever I scale the board, I want it to happen around the center of the board. And so what I have essentially is I've got the scale root, which will go half of the board width away from the origin. And then the position root will go half of the board width back toward the origin. So what I end up with essentially is the position root is basically at the local origin here, but the scale root is in the middle. And so if I change the scale here, see how it scales around the center? But then if I want to move the position, that's being done, you know, from the local origin. So I know if I want the position to reset back to where it should be, I just reset it back to 0. All that good stuff. Maybe I will just mirror these. Hello, Gear Games Inc. Welcome back. Good to see you again. The border act is so pretty, and I find it more appealing than the info itself. Do you need a 9 patch rect for the border? For the board border here, the board border is a little bit weird. 9 patch rect doesn't quite work. So this is what this is what the tree looks like. Oh, art. Gotcha. So I am using a series of 9 patch rects. However, it can't be done with just one 9 patch rect, and the reason is because these top details here are much wider than how I would set up the corners. Does that make sense? So like, if I were to do a 9 patch rect, let's assume that this was one texture, right? This corner is smaller than this corner. In other words, I don't want anything from like here to here. So this 21 pixel range, I don't want that to tile up there. But down here, like I can tile after like 9 pixels, right? So the corners are different sizes, and you can't like with a 9 patch, you can't like define different boundaries for different corners, right? So what I ended up doing is just using a series of tiling textures to basically reconstruct the 4 sides of the rectangle. And then I also have extra details like this top tile container, which will tile in accordance with the amount of space available here. So anyway, yeah, I am using tiling textures. It's just one of those things where I had to do it myself, basically. So if I do plus 54 here, well, it's not auto tiling in here. Why is that not happening? Is it this one that needs to change? I don't know why it's not tiling in here. Maybe it has to be updated in code, but anyway. Anyway, it's a little bit more complex than a 9-patch rect. It's a bunch of 9-patch rects together. 9-slicer UI window. Yeah, it's called 9-patch rect 9-slice. I've seen various terms used for it. All right, so board effect indicators, we're gonna have to, yeah, let's just do this. Node 2D. Board effect indicator scale root. Add another node 2D board effect indicator position root. So this would be 2727. We put the board effect indicators under here. Actually, I don't need this position root. That's a little bit overkill. I'll just take this board effect indicators and change this to, oh, it's already -27, -27. Is that right? Okay. Let's just, for safety, lock that. Why am I getting issues? Item lock status changed. Can't emit non-existent signal. Well, that's definitely not my code. Might as well lock that for good measure. Lock that one for good measure. Lock that one for good measure. Okay, so I just need to mirror this now. Board effect indicator scale root. And then private, do I have board effect indicators in here? I don't. Oh, board effect indicator component. Yeah, board effect indicators. Cool. So I do need to reference it in here though. Okay, so whenever the scale root is updated, I also need to do, let's do tween.setParallel. Let's see. So we'll set up scale roots and position roots. Scale roots is equal to scale root and board effect indicators scale root, and then position root is equal to position root board effect indicators. Okay, so in here, for each var root in scale roots, we're just going to do the same exact tween. Okay, where else do I have scale root? For each var root in scale roots, for each var root in position roots, Same deal here. Place slide in, place scale in. Is this used? Okay, that is used. I've used something like this before, but I had it show random doodads. Oh yeah, very nice. Yeah, getting those textures and whatnot to tile properly and like display irregular things is kind of tricky. Tween nut set parallel. For each var root and scale roots. Root. Okay, and then same here. Tween dot set parallel for each var root in position roots. Oh wait, this one is not actually changing the position root, so it's changing the overall position. Interesting. Okay. So let's see, where else is this used? Did I get all of the usages? Okay, yes I did, and then this one as well. I did, okay. So hopefully those should just match up now. Alrighty. Let's just clear this. Clear that. Okay, let's see what happens. So I should see now that these eyeballs get locked to... Yeah, there we go. So that gets locked to the board. Now one problem is also going to be that these don't highlight, which I think is okay. The most important part was getting those locked to the edges so that when the board scales, they scale with it. And I think that's been accomplished. Yeah. I don't think I need to worry about the minor details of like fading these in or highlighting these at the same time as the board. Although, maybe I should. Let me think about this. Oh, I don't have any way of testing this. Let's do generate test map, map region height to 100. Set this back down to 0. Let's see how that goes, and then we'll go back to doing tooltip stuff. Okay. So this is going to highlight the whole board, and it doesn't highlight that. So maybe I should change that because that looks a little bit weird. So board effect indicator component. How do I want to do this? For each var orb in board indicator parent dot get children of type board effect orb orb dot, we're just going to copy this essentially. Play fade highlight, and with time we'll do visual utilities dot play fade highlight in, I think is what it was. Yeah. We want to fade in the visuals with the time. Okay. Orb.play fade highlight time. And then here, board effect indicators dot play. No, board effect indicator component. What the heck? Oh, do I not have a reference to that? Play fade highlight time. Let's do const float time. All right. Hopefully that works. Okay. So this should highlight the eyeball. There we go. So now it looks like a unified board, right? When the board plays that fade highlight on heal, the eyeball is being faded as well, so it looks like it's part, like the whole goal of this is like make it look like it's grafted onto the board, make it look like part of the board now. So I think that works. Yeah. The tricky part is probably going to be controller support for this, but that's okay. We won't worry about that just yet. Okay, I think I can call this good because... Oh, that fade out works too. I wasn't actually paying attention. I don't actually know how that fade out is working. I guess I just got the timings right because... Visual utilities fade out. I guess I just got the timing right. I don't know, because I'm just fading out the eyeball, then waiting a second and then fading it back in, but it seems to match pretty well with the player death, so we'll just call that good, I suppose. Hello, Ashwin, welcome back. Good to see you. Oh, this panel needs to be updated as well. Okay, we'll update the run overview panel as well. Okay, so finalizing board effect indicators on grafted to board. And I actually don't have a task for that. So let's go ahead and add that. So firstly, that's done. Make board effect eyeballs and grafted to board. I like this presentation a lot more than the floating orbs. Okay. So let's go to the run overview really quick. We're just going to change this panel here. This panel can become panel container alternate. That looks much nicer. Yes, indeed. Look at that. Much nicer. Did I update the character select as well? Let's see. No, I didn't. Well, let's just go ahead and update those then. I really don't like this old not platform. I don't like the old panels. What the heck is up with this one? Custom minimum size. Yeah, okay. So character information, we're going to change this one to panel container alternate. And then what is this panel? Difficulty information. Here we go. Change this one. Alrighty. That looks pretty good. Now I may actually change the header here. Maybe I should change the header. Oh, you know what? One problem is though, I don't know how the translations are going to work. But let's just, I don't know, let's just try it anyway. We're going off on a tangent again. Tangents are the best. Panel header. This one will be UI panel header selected character. Message ID, UI panel header select character, message string character. We build the translations. That should update very nicely. The panel header needs to be below everything so it renders on top. Oh my gosh, I really don't like this new drag and drop. There we go. Okay, so there's our character header. The problem is, if we have a language that makes this extremely long, that may not work very nicely. And one of the problems is like this thing doesn't tile vertically. So I can't necessarily wrap the text. So that may be a problem. But we will leave that as a problem for future Firebelly to deal with. So this one would be UI panel header difficulty modifiers. We'll go ahead and put that in there as well. Build that. There's our modifiers. Cool. All right, let's take a look at what that looks like now. Run the character select. What's this game? Hello, Asymmetrics. Welcome back. Good to see you. Always good to see you. Now I have to remove the header there. Do you like the new panels, Asymmetrics? Look at how nice those like wrought iron panels look. Oh man. It expands as you type it out. I really need to learn for this for my UIs. Yeah, honestly, the answer is just containers, containers, containers. Get rid of the header label though. Yeah, delete the header label. And then delete this header, this title label here. Also, I'm looking forward to that needs to be probably margin, have more margin at the top. Amazon is coming with a streamer light for me so I can light up my face. Always a nice little dopamine hit when Amazon drops off a package at your door. It's fun and exciting for approximately 30 seconds and then you have to get your fix again some other time. I guess we'll just do 16. Developers, yeah. The whole game looks so much cleaner than last time I checked in, like all the VFX. Thank you, Asymmetrics, yeah. We're getting there. Like this game, I'm gonna try my darndest to make this game look super professional and polished and clean and like interactive. I'm gonna try my darndest to make that all work. This screen needs some love as well. Firstly, I don't know if this difficulty selection is gonna scale because I want to add more difficulty levels. Also, somebody suggested making the difficulty levels like individually selectable. So you don't have to like, you could select maybe just this one and not have all these rest of these ones here. So I may do that. But I also think I might add like 10 more of these. So I don't know how that's gonna work. It would be kind of cool. I was thinking maybe it'd be kind of cool to do like a skill tree kind of thing, but for the difficulty modifiers. Do I want to do that? What if I went just like super deep on the difficulty modifiers? What if I gave you like 50 difficulty modifiers and then put them in a skill tree and then you could acquire them however you want? That is an interesting idea. I really do like, I just love skill trees, like unlock trees. I think they're super fun. They're super fun to make. They're super fun to design. And I think they're also really fun as a player because you can kind of have a little bit of agency in terms of how your progression is going. Now I'm almost wondering if I should redo the unlock system. Because I'm thinking, let's say that, so I want to keep the unlock challenges for sure. But I'm almost thinking, what if you got like, challenge points, or I don't know how I'd do this, but you get some kind of points after winning based on what challenges you've completed. So for example, you know, if you complete the apply 20,000 total poison stacks, right? You get like a point. And then that point can be directly spent on this skill tree to either unlock content or difficulty modifiers.